in the name of tradition. Specifically because tradition is an important aspect of all of our lives. But which tradition are we adhering to? I'll tell ya. The one tradition that I like to adhere to is the universal constant, change, because regardless of how I feel, in which direction I believe, that one constant is everywhere in the universe. And not exactly something that you would find from a 2,000-year-old book. So again, universal constant is change. But this is okay, because humans are highly adaptable. As is tradition. Hello there, I am Solstice, and welcome back to another episode of Trans Talk from the Fringes. It's called From the Fringes because while I am not adverse to being part of the trans community, during most of my transition, the community was not exactly there, so I had to live life from the fringes. These talks, these videos, these episodes are me telling stories about my own transition and what I have learned along the way. With all of that being said, if you happen to like this video, please watch all the way to the end. Give it a like if you like this kind of content. If you're on TikTok, go ahead and follow. If you're on Facebook, follow me too. And if you're here on YouTube, please subscribe. And let's get right on into this. Wardrobe change. Ha! On a personal note, I am demisexual. My partner, well, that's pansexual. Many of my friends are something other than straight or heterosexual, if that's the term you prefer. Just like a lot of them are trans, not necessarily cis. But a question that was brought up is there a place for people like that, like me, and like us in today's world? Why, yes, there are places for people like me and my friends in today's world. The one constant of the universe is that everything changes. That includes perceptions of humans as we look at ourselves in a mirror. And if we're going to be absolutely brutally honest, there is no such thing as absolute straight. Just like the absolute inverse is true too. There is no such thing as absolute gay. But we do live in a world and a society where the loudest people in this world are in the minority. That's where education comes in. And it's a part of the reason why I do what I do. To educate. But let's just get this out of the way. For me, specifically, I love chaos. I love a little bit of anarchy in my life. But what does that mean for the LGBTQ people around me? Additional trans people around me too. What does this mean? Simply put, that just means that all is welcome, regardless of orientation, regardless of identity and expression and all those things. Because, the way I see it, love should be blind and not conditional in any way, shape, or form by any sense of that definition. Because the moment you start excluding people because of conditional love, you have just become exclusionary. And I'll tell you a quick little thing. Humanity is not an exclusionary club. Some people may believe that it is an exclusionary club, but I swear it is not. So I'll use this as an example. I live in a town where there is a multitude of different beliefs and traditions. Just like there are a multitude of different orientations to be had here. Just like there is a multitude of different identities to be had here too. For the random Joe or Jane on the street, we neither love nor dislike each other. We silently acknowledge that we have to live with each other and that the person that we are looking at is just another person living down the street, or somewhere else here in town. For that sense of community, we have our specific communities to go to fall back on. Are we trans, LGBT, or anything in between going out there and trying to rewrite the definition of anything? No, we are not. But is the definition of what a man, a woman, and all these people, these expressions, these orientations, is the definition of who we are broadening? Are they expanding? Is our consciousness about who we are and who we're looking at in the mirror expanding? Yes, it is. And this is okay because it means that we are a beautifully diverse and colorful species. All is welcome, period, unconditionally. About the only condition that I can think of at this point, and at that point, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. People who are out there spreading hate and vitriol, the people who refuse to look at themselves in the mirror and understand that our collective consciousness, our social consciousness, is evolving, and it always has been. Again, I did say that this is the only condition that I can see. But even at that, it's not exactly a condition. There is no conditions here. All is loved. And really, that's the only part that I am sad about. The use of a 2,000-year-old book, a fairy tale, to justify hate, vitriol, and apathy. But what did I say in the beginning of this thing? That change, that evolution that we are, even though we are not exactly anything else, we're not trying to redefine anything. It's just our knowledge and our compassion and our empathy about who we are and what we want from this life is evolving. And that is part of the universal constant of change. Oh, and by the way, just a little food for thought. Who here remembers that the promise of the United States of America is that you can practice whatever you want, you can be whoever and whatever you want? I may be transgender, but I also like to think of myself as a fairy. Being here in this nation, I have the freedom to see and believe as I wish, as long as I hurt no one, as long as I cause harm to no one. It costs nothing to practice what you want as long as it harms no one. You're not pushing your beliefs down anyone's throat. So, with that in mind, I am living my truth to the fullest under the promise the United States of America has given. But here's the thing. Unlike some of these, nationalists out there, I'm not going to push my view on you. If you don't like me, please don't watch. I'm just living under the promise that the United States has offered me and many more like me. Period.